First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak with Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. We are definitely living in very exciting times, so we must keep watch, all right? Keep watch as the watchmen of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And I watched this video earlier today, and I really wanted to do a lesson there at that time, but Spirit got on me to really do it now because Elder Yashawamba did a lesson entitled News and Prophecy. AI will be the solution to all problems. Okay, and that's where they're going with it. That's the bottom line, and it's not just based upon what these people are saying and that we can see the direction, but ultimately it ties in with the scriptures dealing with the MOTB, the mark of the beast. That is going to be something that is going to be controlled, by an AI system. That's going to be within the AI system, okay, which is the artificial intelligence system. So I'm going to play some of this video, and we'll continue from there.
We are following some breaking news out of Houston, Texas, after a United airplane caught fire at Bush's airport right there. It did have to be evacuated. So far, no reports of any injuries, but I did want to share some video that's coming into our studio. Take a listen.
Oh my God. Please get us on.
Welcome everyone to the Hurting Humanity channel. What you just heard and saw is going to become the new normal. You're going to hear more and more stories, whether they're created by the government or not, whether the government's deliberately flying helicopters into commercial planes and killing people, or if airplanes just happen to malfunction or catch fire on the runway. They're going to become mainstream news. And they're going to make these stories, whether they're created by the government or not, go viral. So trending right now is United Airlines because of the video clip that you just saw. Sabotage is the name of the game. Everybody out there who follows this channel knows the name of the game is sabotage. Everything you see doing are these corporations allowing their brands to take a black eye temporarily, whether it's United Airlines or American Airlines, which was the commercial flight that got hit by the helicopter, just like we saw with all these brands that are doing all these insane woke ideologies and then being told the people are boycotting them, right? Because it's not about the bottom dollar and how much money they make in the fiscal year. It's about social engineering and knowing at the end of the day, these corporations, these airlines, they're never going to go bankrupt or out of business. You're at their mercy. So if United Airlines decides, hey, well, you could use the name of our airline when you fly it into those towers, even though it might not even actually be planes, they don't mind the fact that their name is associated with it. Even though at the time people were saying, well, I'll never get on those planes again. Well, business is fine for United Airlines because there's only a few airlines you can choose from. And again, you're at the mercy of the airlines. Think about how many times you might have got a flight delay or lost baggage. Guess what? They don't care. You're at their mercy. So when they're sabotaging infrastructure, part of that and what comes along with it is sabotaging themselves. You saw it again with companies like Target, Bud Light, all the woke stuff that was going on. People out there saying they were going to boycott. Do you think the corporations care? They're doing it by design. They are sabotaging for multiple reasons. And again, now you're going to hear more stories. I guarantee you it starts becoming rampant about whether an airline, a plane on a runway catches fire, or a plane on the runway has to land and make an emergency landing. Whether the government creates those stories or not, they're going to make sure that they push those to the forefront of the news. They're going to make sure they report on it, whether it's a false flag or not. And this all has to do, again, with multiple things when it comes to airlines. Autonomous airplanes, okay? So number one is autonomous airplanes. Thinking about how human error is involved in this process.
Right. It's all about human error, okay? Yes, you niggas are too stupid to operate these things or to do certain things, but you Edomites, you so-called white people, you're not perfect. So we need AI governance, all right? We need AI to take care of these particular these complicated human tasks. This is what they're trying to push forth, okay? And we know why they're trying to push it forth. It goes back to Revelations, the 13th chapter, all right? And I'll start at verse 13. It says, matter of fact, I'll start at 12. It says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them that which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Dealing with the Roman Empire. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. The miracles represent his technology. That's how he made fire come down from the earth with those bombs and the different technology that he has. That was from his miracles that the Heavenly Father gave to him, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live. Okay, so they're about to set up a system, right, that's going to, basically change the way, they're going to change the way you live now and make it where it's perfect. Everything is supposed to be perfect. Everything is perfectly calculated. You know what I'm saying? They could even predict when a person is going to commit a crime. This is the type of things that is in Esau's mind to do in this new digital system. And who's really going to be behind the scenes controlling it? Because it can't be perfect, because it's man's creation and man is not perfect, right? So there's definitely flaws within the AI. I don't care if it's AI or AGI or super AI. It doesn't matter. There's going to be flaws within that, of course. But men are going to be able to manipulate that and control that. And those are those elites. That's who's going to have the control of these things. Okay. And it says, because these things have to be programmed. And it says, what I want to do is I want to look up the word miracles real quick. This is not meant to be a long lesson. It says, Semion. Let me see.
Strong's G 4592. Semion. Semion.
Semion, which says a sign, mark, token. Okay. That by which a person or a thing is distinguished from others and is known. A sign, prodigy, portent, i.e., an unusual occurrence transcending the common course of nature. Right. So when someone is blind and, Elon Musk has a chip put in their brain and they can see, if someone is fully paralyzed and he has a chip put in their brain and they can move and walk and do all those things, that's a miracle. That's transcending the common course of nature. Okay. It says of signs portending remarkable events soon to happen, right? The remarkable events of miracles and wonders. Well, even the fact that they can, have AI control the planes and identify everyone in the plane and all these different things, even if they have a mask on, those things are remarkable events, which is not, common occurrences. Okay. It says of miracles and wonders by which God authenticates the men sent by him, or by which men prove that the cause they are pleading is God's. Okay, but this is not speaking about the Most High. It's not a sign that of. It's not a miracle of the Most High per se. This is a miracle of the left-hand side through Satan. Okay. It says, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. You're going to be identified, right? AI is going to identify the people that are not, following the rules, in the system. This is what they have set up. Okay, facial recognition. Okay, they're going to be able to identify who does not have the mark inside of them. There's seven people in this building or in this room, but only 5 of them have the mark. The other 2, they're violating. Okay, they're in violation. Okay, you see, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So they're working very hard to get these homeless people and these different nations that are, in secluded areas in the bush to be a part of this system. And that's why he's over there giving them internet and getting them, prepared to be part of the system, because they want everyone a part of this this beast system that they're getting ready to set up. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark, which is the charagma, the microchip, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. This is what it's all going to lead to. This push to AI governance is going to lead to the microchip. Okay? So as they're promoting these different things and they're saying this is a problem, that's a problem, all these mistakes are happening. People are dying, right? And all of a sudden, there's all kind of problem with planes, right? It's the same thing like with the trains. Remember when the trains were derailing, and then all of a sudden, every other week was a train was derailing. This is all. You can't tell me this is not a psychological operation, man. All right? They put what they want to put in the news for whatever reason. Okay? Let's play a little bit more.
Autonomous air controllers, and eventually all of this has to do with travel bans. Because obviously right now, they're not going to tell you that part of the plan for Agenda 2030 is to ban travel. But remember, just think in your mind, go back to the way things were during the lockdown, right? Where the government was forcing you to put things in your body. Think of all the human and civil rights wars that the government is creating, the climate fear that they put in place, and the travel bans that made people self-quarantine during that time period. Now, you might say,
well, there's multiple things, that they use these things for, but we know the ultimate goal is to set up this beast system with the mark, with the mark at the forefront, and AI governing this thing. Okay, just like how China is, but even on a higher level, because everyone's gonna have the mark. Okay.
Well, why would travel ban?
Let's move a little forward, because I think he mentions
Absolutely in a psychosis about it, and that's done by design. How many more people again do things from home as opposed to going out to the whole city, right? That's how it all works. Here's another story. Lessons for human AI communication, ambiguities per mid-air collision pilot control interaction. So human to human pilot controller communication is what they're paying attention to, and saying we could transition to human AI interaction. Here's another one. Why AI-based air traffic monitoring is needed. So now we're seeing one, making people afraid to fly, because eventually you're not going to be traveling. You're not going to be allowed to unless your carbon footprint is so low that you literally allow yourself to be locked in your home for almost 12 months of the year, which is a whole year, right? Say you're in your home for 11 full months, then you do everything online, and everything you post online is wonderful, and your social score is great, that the government looks at you and thinks you're a wonderful person. They might allow you to go to a place like Cancun for a couple of days, right? But that would be it. So remember that. So now the other thing we're shifting to is the stuff I talked about with autonomous airplanes, everything going autonomous, everything going into AI infrastructure, right? Controlled infrastructure. So, of course, just days after, just like I said, these are the stories that pop up. Why AI-based air traffic monitoring is needed. Lessons from the D.C. crash. Here's another one. Washington, D.C. plane crash. Why we need AI-driven air traffic management, right? And specifically, this is what they write in these articles. This disaster raises pressing questions about the effectiveness of current air traffic control systems, especially in congested and high-security airspace like that of the U.S. Capitol. Given the complexity of managing both civilian and military air traffic in such an environment, the reliance on human controllers is increasingly proving to be a potential weak link.
By the way, I was just reading an article, watching a video actually, that showed that in the Roman Empire there was a problem with identity, with a false identity. Let's go to this one right here.
News of his death rippled across the Roman world.
Right, and specifically, and this it's funny because I wasn't looking for nothing dealing with Nero, but it just happened to be the issue happened based upon Nero's identity. So, hey man, that's the spirit, because I wasn't looking for nothing dealing with Nero. All right, I was looking for just to see the Roman. I want to learn about the Roman identification. I know there was particular times where, the citizens needed some type of paperwork. They even show you that in certain biblical movies where the disciples needed paperwork and they were on the run and, and things of that nature, and they didn't have their paperwork and so on and so forth. Right, because there was a difference between a Roman citizen and a person of another nation, so to speak, and it was a great offense to pretend to be a Roman citizen, right? And then so anyway, Salakia. So just let me just play this. I'm a bit tired, Salakia.
By the time he died on June 9th, 68 AD, Nero had been the most famous person on the planet for nearly 14 years. His name prefaced inscriptions from Spain to Syria. His statue stood in every province, and tens of millions of coins bearing his likeness were circulating throughout the empire and beyond. News of his death rippled across the Roman world as swiftly as speeding ships and galloping riders could carry it. Yet despite Nero's notoriety, or because of it, no fewer than 3 pretenders emerged. The first false Nero appeared in Greece, where the emperor had recently spent more than a year touring cities and competing at festivals. He looked like Nero, could sing and play the lyre, and managed to persuade several units of Roman soldiers that he was the genuine article before being captured and executed. The second false Nero, from the province of Asia, resembled the former emperor closely enough to gain a small army of adherents and the support of a Parthian usurper. A generation later, the third false Nero also enjoyed Parthian aid. Nero's case is of course exceptional, and political factors clearly influence the acceptance of the various pretenders. But the fact that the most recognizable man on earth could be imitated so successfully indicates the difficulties of proving identity in the sparsely documented and tenuously connected classical world. Some of the most dramatic examples involve slaves who were, for obvious reasons, exceptionally motivated to assume false identities. Pliny the Younger, a provincial governor, wrote a letter informing Trajan that 2 slaves, masquerading as Roman citizens, had been discovered in a crowd of legionary recruits. On another occasion, Pliny notified Trajan that a man working in a bakery, revealed to be an escaped slave, claimed to have been stolen from a distinguished Roman years before by barbarian raiders. In a more personal vein, Cicero complained about the disappearance of a slave who had disguised himself as a free man and vanished. The reverse also occurred. Freeborn travelers on lonely roads ran a risk of being captured and chained in windowless workhouses. Even those who were already enslaved had reason to fear such a fate. The household steward.
So anyways, there was problems, dealing with identification back then in the Roman Empire. And, they had, a form of birth certificates and other means of identifying who a person is. But now, this is the Roman Empire 2.0, right? And the solution is going to be the micro CHIP, right? And AI governance. So, you're not going to be, facial recognition, all these different things are in place for a reason, so that this problem of identification, identity theft, and not knowing who somebody is, which is going to be a big problem. All right. It's going to be made a big problem, is going to be at the forefront, but the solution is going to be AI. Okay. And also the micro CHIP. So this is nothing more than the Roman Empire again, but it's like the revised Roman Empire where Esau feels like he's going to rule forever, which he's not. All right. So this is a quick lesson, Lord willing. This was edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.